It's important as we look at expectations. I was just thinking of our marriage as you were talking about how Nancy and I have been married 42 years. We're at a stage of life now where our kids are grown, we have grandkids, great stage of life. We love it completely. But I saw my parents at this stage of life, and what I'm discovering, I have new expectations in my marriage at this stage that I hadn't even thought about till we got to this stage of life. So I think to constantly, when I have an expectation, for me to take time and think, okay, where did that come from? Is it valid? And if I think it is, I want to talk to Nancy about it and let her in on that. And so I think it's something we do before marriage, but I think realistically, different stages of marriage bring different expectations. And so I think that's really an ongoing process that we take all the way through.
One of the things that I noticed with my wife is that when we got married, she had some expectations about who would do certain chores in the house. And she expected me to be more helpful in the kitchen than I grew up being. And I noticed that she was being a little edgy with me emotionally. And I guess about 6 months into the marriage, I asked her, why do you always seem to be upset or cranky at mealtime? And she said, because you don't help out. I never knew that she had that expectation. But once she was able to communicate that to me, I was able to adjust, and now I help out. And when we had kids, those expectations changed. Exactly what you said happened. I did not know that my wife had these expectations, that I would help change the diapers, that I would help get up with the children in the middle of the night, that I would help feed them, that I would help burp them, that I would help dress them. But once we communicated those expectations to each other, it took the edge off of those conversations, and we were able to actually help each other. And it made our marriage a lot better, and it helped our communication in other areas as well.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times all it is communicating that expectation. Nancy telling me, I really have this expectation. Well, I didn't know that, but sure I can do that.
I think we feel guilty. I feel selfish when I communicate to my wife, I would really like for you to do this. I really enjoy it when we are able to whatever. We somehow have this idea that we're more spiritual than we really are. I'm a Christian. I should not have all of these selfish expectations. It doesn't mean that we're awful. It just means that we're humans. And even in the area of physical intimacy, my wife and I have had to learn, and I think we're doing great at it too, that we have to communicate what we need in the bedroom. We have to communicate when are the good times that we may be able to experience that physical intimacy, and when are the bad times? When do we just need to say, you know what, it's not going to happen tonight, not going to happen today. What are the things that I can do around the house to help her feel more connected to me emotionally so that we can experience that level of intimacy? It took us years to learn to talk about that because we felt so awkward expressing those expectations to each other. But if you can learn to do that early on in marriage, you increase your chances of having a good, healthy, God-honoring, Christ-centered marriage exponentially. In the chapter, there are some very easy things that you can begin to do if you've been married for 10 years or if you're engaged or if you're dating. There are some very practical and easy things that you can do, some questions you can ask each other and ask yourself to help uncover what those expectations you have really are.
Such an important question.